Welcome to the heart of the Motor City, y'all. Detroit fan form, we answer the call. From the grit and the grind to the wins we embrace. We showing mad love, let's set the pace. From downtown lights to the neighborhood crew. Red Wings, Pistons, Tigers.
Welcome back to the Fan Forum Podcast. I'm Mark, and with me is, me. Unfortunately, Wayne couldn't be here tonight. He has to work overtime and protect the country of Canada. And Hitch has to do Hitch things. Quite honestly, I'm not sure where he's at. There's been some word on the street that they've seen him trying to sneak into Canada, or there's conversations of him sneaking into Canada. But time will tell. So you got me tonight. I'm real excited, honestly, because I don't think those two guys would have let me actually talk about the Super Bowl the way I see it. Last week we recapped not only the Lions season, we recapped the Bills season. You got to hear our feelings as Lions fans for the first time in this this national spotlight that we were under. We got to meet Wayne, who is a diehard Bills fan, but is a little bit more of a seasoned fan than we are. So we appreciate everything that he's bringing to this podcast. But now I want to talk about the Super Bowl. We're unfortunately stuck with a matchup that I don't think anybody really wants. I mean, let alone, I guess, set aside the teams that are playing. This is no surprise. This is a Lions podcast. We're big Lions fans. Wayne's a big Bills fan. So obviously we're pushing the narrative Lions-Bills. But if you really think about it, ladies and gentlemen, that's the better matchup, right? Like, I've seen a lot of conversation in local media and national media, Facebook, Instagram, X, where you've got people outside of Detroit and Buffalo calling for that matchup. There was a meme that went out there that they suggested that be we demand an uncarded game on Super Bowl Sunday, a 2 p.m. kickoff, the one we wanted, Lions-Bills, the People's Super Bowl. So maybe that's what I'll be watching this year, is the People's Super Bowl. It's actually not a bad idea if you really think about it with the NFL. You could do a fan-voted Super Bowl that's irrelevant, the People's Championship, and then you would be able to play your real Super Bowl. So back to the real Super Bowl at hand. I really do think these teams, they're good teams. I'm not going to take away from the Kansas City fan base, the Eagles fan base. I think they both have great general managers. Andy Reid's a great coach. Sirianni, I'm not really convinced on. But let's be honest, guys, they draft really well. The Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs have done a great job over the last 5 years at building their team through the draft. I'm not saying that they don't deserve to be in this game, because from an NFC standpoint, I do think Philly's defense is, the way the season ended up being the best defense in the league. Saquon, what he's doing right now, it's beyond historic, because you really have to think about it. He was drafted by the Giants, a franchise that's known for having their ups and downs. Let's just be polite. There's no secret that they constantly mismanaged him. It needed to be, was it Saquon's team or was it Daniel Jones' team? They took the Daniel Jones route, which I don't know how any self-respected general manager now can go back into the into the public and say that he's not going to dip out of the game after stuff like that. I mean, I'm not really sure how you have these guys that are making decisions with triple-digit million-dollar checks on the table, and they're making the decision like Saquon over Daniel Jones, right? Eagles miraculously pick him up on a 1-year deal, a prove-it deal. I don't know what he's proving. He has a historic season. Their defense is phenomenal. Jalen Hurts, he's a good quarterback. I'm not really fully sold on him. Hollywood Brown with the diva wide receiver. Unfortunately, it just has the earmarkings of collusion because we've seen this game before, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen the controversial calls. I don't have to list them. We've seen this playbook. The NFL likes to see how big they can get, see how much they can push it. And I really, truly do. I feel like this Super Bowl has been predetermined. I feel like we're going to get a three-peat with Kansas City. I've never seen a team. I've never seen it. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. If anyone's ever seen a season where a team consistently wins by a small margin with the help of the officials on controversial calls. I don't get it. I really don't. I think if this comes out that these games are influenced in the next 5 to 10 years, I think you're going to see the global empire of the NFL explode from within. I mean, these are billions of dollars that fans put in your hands, Mr. Goodell, expecting a fair game. And what our Buffalo Bills fans had to go through, I don't think that was fair. I think that was some preferential treatment going on. I don't know. I keep saying ban the Super Bowl or boycott the Super Bowl. I'm not going to lie. I'll probably end up watching it. Like Hitch and Wayne said, our wives are going to want to watch it. My wife wants to watch it. And it is football. The almighty Hitch was right. It's still going to be fun. It's still going to be entertaining. And now that I've got this full-on theory, it's not a conspiracy theory, a theory that there is collusion between the front office and the officials. Tie that in with the now legal betting. Just makes too much dollars and cents for me. So I'm going to sit here and watch Kansas City win in a controversial way in the fourth quarter. Come back on here after the Super Bowl's over, after Patrick Mahomes gets his third MVP. Taylor Swift comes down from the rafters, lands right in Travis Kelce's arms. I'm going to get back on here. And I'm going to say, Hitch, this is your smoking gun. You want your smoking gun? It's the game we just watched. So, leave your comments. Let me know what you think. I mean, am I over the top on this? Is this just too much? Am I really just sick and tired of seeing the same matchups going on over and over? Or am I just a bitter Lions fan? Could be somewhere in between. Who knows? But I think it's either way. We're stepping into an off season that us as Lions fans have never really had the privilege of having, right? If you really think about it, we've always been a team that we've tried and have had to build through the draft, right? Now, doesn't mean we've always been successful at it, but you're going to have a hard time going back in time and finding a Lions roster that was star-studded, that was loaded with free agents. I don't want to take people down memory lane, but some of our successful runs have ended up with we're unable to pay everybody. I mean, that's how the Sue run, the Calvin run, and the Stafford run ended. I think this is going to be the first time going into free agency that we're not only a destination, guys, but I don't think we're afraid to trade away draft picks. I don't really feel like we're a team anymore that has to go out and win the first round. I mean, for crying out loud, we're basically into the second round at that point. I know Hitch talked on it last week about the quality that immediately falls right into the second round and how you you can find so much value. But I really see this offseason as being the all-in offseason, if you know what I mean. And it's unfortunate because I'm sure Wayne would be here checking me, telling me to calm down and reminding me that every player I want is going to sign with the Bills. But our Super Bowl championship window is wide open right now. Coming into this season, the expectation, not only from the fan base, but from everybody across the NFL, is that this is going to be a top 5 team. This is going to be a high-powered offense. Aiden Hutchinson is coming back. This is going to be a defense that is going to be on a revenge mission. There are players out there that are eager to play we'll say 70% of the season, right? I fully anticipate us to be a lot deeper at linebacker and at corner. And I fully anticipate us, and maybe this is just me drinking that off-season Kool-Aid right now, to make an aggressive trade. It's no secret right now that Myles Garrett is asking for a trade. Khalil Mack will be a free agent. And you've got another explosive defensive end in Max Crosby that, hey, until we get a little bit closer to the draft, I'm going to put that out there as an option. I think back to the interview that Brad Holmes did at the end of the season, and they asked him to reevaluate. Excuse me. They asked him to reevaluate how they handled the Aiden Hutchinson trade, or the Aiden Hutchinson injury. And what I found very telling about all this was Brad Holmes says, not only did we look at available players, but we looked at all the players we wanted. And I keep thinking back to that, right? And I keep thinking, was he tipping his cap to us? Was he saying that's where we, as an organization, felt fully exposed and said, okay, well, this isn't just we need a player to fill in for him this season. This isn't we need a player to trade for and have with him next year. And this is the guy, right, Zadarius Smith. We need a better plan. We need a bigger plan for these defensive line. We need to do something bigger and better. We need to get him a Bash brother, right? You can go via the draft in this situation. It's been done before, but I think what we're looking for is another Hutch. It's no secret right now that the best time, if there was ever time, to go out and be overly aggressive would be this offseason. And you know, I know if Hitch is here right now, he'd have every mock trade. What would you take? A first, a second, a third? Right now, my answer is yes, right? Um, Now, if you want me to name players that I think are untradeable, I'm not giving up Jameer Gibbs. Um, I'm not giving up anybody, obviously, on the defensive side of the ball. But sorry, JMO, sorry, Laporta. I'd be willing to offer up players of that caliber, but I really just think this comes down to draft picks. And Brad Holmes has been great at acquiring them. Now we might see not only did he do a lot with those draft picks, but is he going to take that and make it into something bigger? I mean, this guy, I'm telling you, he's so special. He's so unique. He is a villain. He is so in your face. And transparent on what he's going to do, but yet he continues to always win. Right now, we're talking about an organization like the Browns, which we have a relationship with, which we've traded with before. The Oakland Raiders the Vegas Raiders situation, harder to convince me that they're going to get Max Crosby and let him go because they just brought Pete Carroll in. They're not waving the flag. And I mean, Pete Carroll's a pretty fun guy to play for. So unless Max Crosby really wants out of there or we really want him, I don't see that as being an option. But I could be wrong, right? I just think Brad Holmes has a trick up his sleeve that the NFL is not ready for yet. It's going to be one of those drafts where the pressure is not on for us to go out there and draft a generational talent. I mean, quite honestly, we're a team now where if all we're doing is picking on in the second round, that's our first pick. I'm extremely happy. I don't even want to be in the first round anymore. This is the new situation for us Lions fans, is what I'm trying to say. So I know some of you said, let's do a mock draft. We'll do a mock draft on here. I just don't think this is the time. I think after the combine, you'll start seeing a legit mock draft from Hitch and myself and Wayne. But right now, I think we're just going to end up talking strategy. It's also going to be an interesting season to see who gets cut. I don't really see a lot of big names departing. I think our big departures have been our coaches, right? Which I do want to mention, we did get David Shaw from Stanford, former Stanford coach, as our pass game coordinator. Not talked a lot about in the media, but let's not overlook what he was a part of at Stanford. Very smart guy. Seems like a quarterback's coach strictly. But more importantly, the core of this team, I think, has already been established. I don't really see us losing. Honestly, in the next 5 years, I don't see us in a position where we have to lose anything big, right? You're seeing a lot of teams right now making cap cuts because they have to. I don't know. I'm confident in Brad Holmes to do the right thing. It would be nice, though, to see our names being taken off this Cooper Kupp trade rumor. I don't know, maybe I'll get some flack for that, but as nice as cool as that would be to see with Cooper Kupp, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams out there with Sam Laporta, Jameer Gibbs. Man, I swear, if you're going to make a big splash, if you're going to make a big trade, if you're going to do something Do it on the defensive side of the ball. I don't know. I don't know if that's just the beat writers being the beat writers and making the ties with the LA to Detroit connection, but I'm not really sold on that. I don't think that's um, a viable rumor out there. So, but put there in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you guys truly think that Cooper Cup is going to take us to the next level, hey, like I said, I don't think he's a terrible addition to this team, but I don't really see where the focus needs to be on wide receiver. I mean, there's the Tim Patrick role that we're looking to fill. But I don't think that's going to have to be filled by Cooper Cup as far as addition by subtraction. So look more for us to be a big player on the defensive side of the ball with the Myles Garrett sweepstakes, more so than the Max Crosby trade rumors. I can tell you right now, Hitch would be losing his mind if he was hearing me talk about these trade rumors. I know for a fact that he is itching to get rid of Hendon Hooker. And he would try packaging him in pretty much any type of trade. I don't know what it is. During the draft, Hitch was very upset about that pick. I'm not claiming that pick is going to save us, but there's nothing about him right now that tells me he's pro ready, where he's even an option. Like I can honestly see Hendon Hooker not even making the roster next year. I mean, that's there's nobody on this team that we're going to trade away. I don't know. I just see it being draft picks, but I could be wrong. You never know. All right, so let's recap this. Hitch is trying to sneak into Canada. Tariff or no tariff. I'm calling Kansas City to win. Spread, I believe, is -1.5 right now. Chiefs are favored. The money line is -120 for the Chiefs and +100 for the Eagles. Over under set at 48.5. I'll let you guys decide on the over under. This could be one of your 24-22 or your 22-21. Man, that's a tough one to call. If they're -1.5, oof, I think you take the points. Yeah, I think it's -1.5. I like that for the Eagles, or I'm sorry, for the Chiefs. It's going to be historic. I know that the president's going to be there. I think this is the first Super Bowl that the president's ever going to be at. We know these odds are going to change, and with him being there, I'm sure he'll be part of a bet. But look for a very aggressive, defensive-minded. I think you're going to see Mahomes throw. This is a game where he wins and still throws 2 picks. I don't think he has his MVP, puts up his MVP numbers, but he's going to do something to drive us crazy to piss off the world. And then at the very end, he'll take his jersey off and reveal that he's got the zebra stripes under there the whole time. So, with that being said, I hope everybody has a fun Super Bowl Sunday. Looking forward to having Wayne and Hitch back next week. I'm just going to keep this one short and sweet because until that Super Bowl is over, guys, this offseason hasn't gotten real yet for me. It's just rumors, speculation. This is that last game that just officially sets everything in board for us to do mock drafts, mock trades, and just get weird, right? Okay. Well, I hope everyone has a good night. If anyone's listening, still 25 minutes in, thank you. And please don't forget to subscribe. And peace.
Welcome to the heart of the Motor City, y'all. Detroit fan form, we answer the call. From the grit and the grind to the wins we embrace. We showing mad love, let's set the pace. From downtown lights to the neighborhood crew.